My notes say I am up to the one after farmer. Who's that? Ghost. Ever watch an Indy 500? Not from start to finish. Hey, Blazar, 18 moves Zamboni, UC Sour. Plus 10 damage with ethereal weapons, plus 30% dodge. Dodge is capped at 90%, but minus 100 armor. We start with Ghost Axe. Which seems fine. I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion about which one I start with. Doesn't really matter, right? Just end up with all of them anyway. Ooh, I got the last attack off. That was kind of nice. A little bit of harvesting. Grab one of these. Grab one of these, grab one of these. I think in general, Ghost is going to be a pretty straightforward potato. Hey, 5-4, I got annihilated. I got wiped off the board very quickly. For Nash, thanks for 44 months. Hey, rude. The wild thing about that Spirit Island game was like every rule edge case worked against me. I think it was like only probably my 4th or 5th time ever playing against Habsburg, and I discovered several things about how their rules work that I didn't know. So, generally lifesteal is going to be preferable to HP regen with ghost weapons, I think, because I get such high attack speed. However, I'm being offered a plant, so I'll just take it. Ah, we got 2 of each. And dagger axe. Hashtag winning. Glad to hear it. Discovering new rules. So I was playing a spirit. Some of you don't know Spirit Island, which is too bad. But I was playing a spirit, which can drown the enemies by pushing them into the water. But I was also playing against an enemy. Oh, I killed the... Ooh, I killed the wave 3 loot crate and got 20 materials, but still, 20 materials is something. But the enemies I was fighting have this mechanic where their villages have extra health and can't be destroyed by destroy village effects. They just take half damage. And I found out that drowning them just deals half damage to them, and then they bounce back onto the land again. Which sure completely ruined everything that I thought I was going to do repeatedly. Cooperative Orleans? Is that how you pronounce it? I lived not that far from there once upon a time. But I don't know how to pronounce it. People have told me that if you know how to pronounce how French is written, you can just always do it. But I sure don't know how to pronounce how it's written, so that's not very useful to me. I don't really know what I'm meant to do now. Don't I just win? Like, why does it even matter what I click on anymore? So the one thing is I have minus 105 armor. So if I take damage, it's a lot of damage. But like, why would I take damage? I don't know. Why not just not take damage? Also, I have so much harvesting. Also, I have 2 ghost scepters, so like I'm gonna get to a point where I have enough max HP to take several hits per wave. Should be okay. Chocolate fans. Smaller, thanks for 34 months. Glad you enjoy the Brotato strings. Game's kind of sweet. Oh yeah, and I have 90% dodge at some point if I want. I guess I should probably take more dodge items. I kind of forgot about that. I was honestly assuming that I had no dodge and thinking that it was impossible for me to die. So if I have 90% dodge, that should make it even more impossible for me to die. You would think. Do I want a peaceful bee? Maybe. Let's do it. Sorry. When I don't have the Pandora screen pulled to front in Windows, it stops updating. Very frustrating. Silly OBS. Silly Windows, probably. What else is new in my life? I watched a surprising amount of the Monaco Grand Prix. I believe there was an overtake in that race. I did turn it off after they got running and then turned it back on halfway through. But then I watched most of the last half. It wasn't very interesting. It was like a little bit interesting. We're just going to head toward our red weapons. Nice last property. The Cannon Loud Run, IMO. Crash made Monaco basically just a very long free practice. There certainly were not a lot of pit stops or overtakes or other things. I was surprised that Science got put back in third though. That was a bit surprising. Am I dead? What is happening? I am dead? Wow. Okay. Just kind of got hit 3 times in a row and didn't kill the enemies. Was very confusing. My note in the spreadsheet is actually was very confusion as a noun, which I'm fine with. That's okay. Possible that I'm just like kind of asleep. I don't know. I'm very surprised that I died there. Alright, Speedy. I don't know if I have like a sensible post-mortem on that. I just kind of got hit by 3 things and didn't dodge. I don't know. Did I finish the Scary Caveman game that other day? I did. Hey, man, just... Bubba Flub, thanks for 5 gifted subs! What happened to the graph? It's still there. You wanna see it? We are there. Still a run ahead of ManyJorbs, but ManyJorbs went on a bit of heater here. Like some of these potatoes are pretty... They're not free. Speedy is not free. Speedy can die out of nowhere. Speedy with fighting stick. It might not be a day. I was drinking last night. It might not be a day for a game that requires reaction speed. I have to go back in time and kill ManyJorbs. So Speedy's big thing is that you get a bunch of minus armor if you stand still. Which you have a bunch of plus speed, so in theory, just don't stand still, lol. But I don't know. Gentle alien? What is fighting a stick? Primitive medieval. What I'd like to do is hit thief daggers, or shurikens, or jousting lances, or like just not fighting stick mostly. Kind of want to buy gentle alien. Why would you stand still? Well, if you change directions, sometimes you stand still for a frame or two. That's the problem. That is the issue with this character. I'm gonna go for slingshot. I don't think I want more fighting sticks. Unfortunately, you can't just run in one direction. You can run in a circle like this, kind of. Unless there's something in front of you, in which case you kind of can't, actually. But I think if I run with curved changes of direction like this, I never actually stand still. The problem is, it does kind of mess up my movement quite a lot to do that. Spears and slingshots? I don't hate it. Hey Miller, Handbright. Yeah, it doesn't help that often when you change direction really fast is when you are surrounded by enemies. Like, that's why you're trying to change direction a bunch. I will take a ranged damage. I won't take some range. Let's roll this. Harvesting or luck? It is a double luck. Sure. Full build. Why do I have 15 melee damage, by the way? Plus 1 melee damage for every 2% speed you have. I didn't realize that you only got melee damage and didn't get... I thought it was damage percent. Alright, well I'm doing really great today. Ghost weapons feel conceptually fine. I don't know. Most of these things are okay, I think. Your brother and you are playing a Minecraft again for the first time in a decade, and you're addicted as fuck. Minecraft's great. Minecraft is very easy to be addicted to. I like the idea of ghost weapon because number go up. Maybe I would have gone for it if I didn't just die out of nowhere as a ghost. But I did just die out of nowhere as a ghost, so... not feeling it at the moment. Maybe I shouldn't have bought the peaceful bees. Maybe I should have rolled a dodge instead of not rolling a dodge 3 times in a row. Hey Panda Locomotive. How are you? I didn't buy that other spear. Interesting. Why didn't I buy that other spear? Let's get rid of Cactus Club. Let's just level up the things that we have. I don't really know why I have slingshots. But the character is strong enough that it probably doesn't really matter. We'll see. Pro stock! First time you ever caught a Brotato stream, I tried to go ghost weapons and switched to SMGs immediately. Sounds like me. All parts of that sound like me. It's very on brand. Favorite whiskey? I haven't had that many different whiskeys. For a while I had Macallan 12 in the house. But then I realized that having whiskey in the house was not actually working for me. And so then I stopped. It was certainly resulting in me drinking more whiskey than I actually wanted to be drinking. Sarah, thanks for the 34 months. Appreciate it. Other than the minus 100 armor if you ever stand still, this character is, like, very, very heavily upside. So, just never stand still, am I right? Or if we do, simply don't get hit. I'm gonna take community support. You can't stop me. If they give me a strong item, I suppose I will take it. I could take a jousting lance. It should be good. Maoshi! Thanks, by Magic Fish. I got you hooked on a Hex Guardian. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I didn't end up playing a ton of it. It seemed like a very cute game. Oh my god. I'm surviving wave 7. Who knew it was possible? I am avenging Ghost, who was slain. Ow. Discord status doesn't have me as streaming. I don't even know what that means. Yes, it does. Looks like it does to me. Why do I have 5 flat ranged damage? What is going on? What is even happening here? Discord says you're online for you as well. Sounds like a Discord problem. Looks correct on my end. Pretty sure I am also streaming, so there you go. Give me the beat, boys, breathe my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. I guess we focus on being a little bit harder than usual to die in one hit. Kill in one hit. That's the one. Metal seems like an okay item for me. This is fine. Why are we worried about Discord JORBS streaming? Fair. Fair. I turned the heat on because it was cold, but now it's too hot. What the fuck, Twitch shop? What the hell is this trash? The human condition. Suffering. How many JORBs are there? 62. I already have a community support. I probably don't need attack speed that much. Keep working on getting a bit tankier. If I take damage, it would be nice to be able to heal, I guess. I guess I'll buy a recycling machine. Do I want dodge? Not really. Do I want snail? Sure. When is Brotato DLC? Isn't it soon? I thought it was meant to be in June. Alright. June is like next month. I'm in this weird place where I can't believe it's already May, but also I can't believe it's still May. I feel like it's been May for quite a while. Which I think is true since it's May the 26th. I think that is factual. Has been May for 26 days. Weird how that works. Hey honk! 2024 is going by too quick. I feel like that's life, yeah. I feel like life is going by too quick. Having a good time while it goes, though. Want a coffee? Sure. This is an elite wave. Who is it? Alright, this one's not too bad. My biggest problem with Speedy probably is my speed is different from usual. So I feel very bad at dodging with this character. Like, I don't know whether I can get in and out of this circle of dots in different situations, because I don't understand how my speed relates to the proc rate of the dots. This elite in particular is not very threatening though, so against this one it's like whatever. Doesn't really matter much. But against other elites where I actually have to dodge pretty frequently and make high stakes dodges, it really does matter. Why didn't you attack the elite, Spears? Spears. Spears. Why? Why? It's fine. It's okay. I'm not even upset. I'm a little upset. Slightly upset. When will you start feeling like an adult? I don't know. I'm not sure. Also, a big update for Deep Rock Galactic coming. I played the Deep Rock Galactic board game for the first time last week. It was a lot like the Survivors game, which was interesting to me because I feel like the FPS is what it's known for, right? But I didn't really feel like it was much like an FPS. I felt like it was like a Survivors game. Maybe it's also like the FPS and I just haven't played the FPS. That's like pretty plausible. There is a board game. I want to alienize? Sure. Do I want a cyberball? Not gonna do much. Gets me a free reroll, kinda. I don't know. I guess my attempt to have positive crit chance was optimistic. I had a stress stream about not having finished an assignment that was due last night, so I guess I don't feel like an adult yet. I mean, a lot of the time I do, but not really after that happens. Then I realized, in the dream, I realized that it was Friday, which it isn't. It isn't Friday. But in the dream I did, which meant that I didn't have to turn the assignment in tomorrow because it was Saturday. But then I realized that that meant that I had to go to class, and I hadn't. Fucked up dream. I don't know if you, like, ever stop having those. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind stopping having them at some point in my life. That would be okay with me. You've never heard the term stress strain. That is a thing that I call those, for sure. I don't think I take hunting trophy. I have 0... Exactly 0 crit. This one's okay. You do when you get a different object of stress. I have plenty of other objects of stress. And yet here we are. Yay! This is kind of a wild wave. We have 14 elite. Kinda messed up that this exists. That is so many dots on the screen. Alright! You keep having dreams about a house you haven't lived in for over 25 years. Believable. Brain. Why are you like this? Brain, please. Yes, Panda Locomotive. I have that exact dream. It's interesting, too, that the dream is not about shame for failing the class or anything. It is about, like, frustration at the inconvenience of having to take the class again. I don't think for me... I guess part of it is like, there is a feeling of like, I need to get out there into the world so I can like get a good job and make money or whatever. So in that way it's kind of financial, but I don't think the having to pay for it again is a thing that comes up in my psyche. My HP was purple because I had tardigrade, which negates the first hit. And that gets communicated by making the HP bar purple. I think that was a relatively recent patch in quotation marks. Like, I think it was like the last patch that the game had or something. Although I think that was 6 months ago, maybe. Yours are always around failing the class. You haven't been going for half a semester and there's an exam today and you have no idea what's going on. Did you ever do that? Do people who have that exact dream have like real life experience of doing that thing? No? Interesting. I never failed a class in college. It's such a specific dream, right? And it seems to be one that multiple people have. So weird. I don't actually know how improved tools interacts with community support. I've never understood that. I think because community support isn't on my stat sheet, it doesn't affect my target speed, maybe. But I'm not certain. Hey Bilbo Baggins action figure. Your most recurring dream is looking for a shower. Like you don't know where one is? I have never had that dream. I'm trying to think if I've had dreams where I'm like really gross and can't like, I don't know, wash my hands or something. Probably, but I can't remember any right now. It seems like a dream I would have had. That is a stressful situation I have been in the actual world. Huh. Losing teeth dream is common? I think I may have had a losing teeth dream in my life. I've definitely had toothache dreams. One more. Oh, losing teeth is how you realize you're dreaming. Huh. I'm gonna let those spawn. Well, I've failed teeth because I had to kill stuff, but yeah, I let 3 of them spawn. Was this a bad idea? Maybe. I have a regen potion now, which should be fine. Did I take some damage? I'm a little bit concerned. Regen potion doesn't double my HP regen unless I'm below half health. I'm a little bit concerned that if I get below half health, I can be one-shot by things if I stand still. Also, I thought I would kill it, and I am so extremely not killing that. So extremely not killing that. Alright, let's focus on survivability, because I might be dodging for the entirety of the final wave, it looks like. I'm gonna take this. I kill some trees sometimes. Driving, your brakes have stopped working. But for some ungodly reason, you're still trying to deliver pizzas. That, I hope they tip well. Not even usually a nightmare, just incredibly frustrating. I hope they are aware of the physical danger you're putting yourself and others in order to deliver their pizza. There's probably some point at which it becomes irresponsible enough that it deserves a lower tip, actually. You like to lecture a lot. Do I dream about lecturing? You do all the time. Thanks for the 3 years, Kukulin. Started having dreams where your mental model of yourself didn't have boobs, had top surgery a couple of years ago. Is this good or bad? I don't know. Is dreaming a common or rare thing for me? Very common. Very common. Especially if I sleep poorly, which happens a decent amount of the time for me, unfortunately. I decided to start with 1 HP for the final wave. I think we're fine. But I respect that it is a bold choice. Do I like to lecture? I think I probably liked lecturing. I don't dream about it basically ever. I don't know if I would say that my relationship with lecturing is that I like it either. I guess it's fine. I don't know. Here's the thing. If I had to lecture people on something I wasn't passionate about, I would absolutely, utterly, and totally hate it. The only reason that I make like lecture sorts of content on YouTube is that I have things that I am passionate about and want people to understand the things I know about them for. But I don't think there's that much satisfaction for me in like, if I worked out a better way to teach someone trigonometry or something, which I think to some people is interesting, I don't think I would enjoy that really. I think I killed them both with the timer at 0, so we'll take it. Mission to spears. I did get hit with -100 armor one time in that wave. Went heavily for survivability, did get hit with -100 armor once. Mostly just one though. It's possible that a worse elite in one of the earlier waves could have killed me there. You like my lecturing? Good. I think I only lecture when I do want to. So like practically speaking, when you see me lecturing, I would like to be lecturing. But also you may note that I only do that like once every 2 months or something, so. Although I guess just like streaming has some overlap with lecturing. Oh, what a battle. There's a lot of difficult potatoes I'm about to play. I have to play Entrepreneur now. Entrepreneur. I have to spell entrepreneur right first, then I have to play it. Even worse. Which is bugged and says I have been streaming for 16.5 hours. You assume that that's a bug. Interesting. Start with wrench. Alright. 3 years ago you were in college and lost, now 3 years later. You're graduated and employed and even more lost. Oh. I don't know if I have the solution for you here, but I am playing video games. I don't only have 24 materials because I'm playing Entrepreneur. Usually with Entrepreneur, I just kind of go for random bullshit because you just have more money than usual. So like, just, I don't know, do something is usually how I approach this character. Go for wrenches. I don't know if I've ever played engineering entrepreneur before, which is weird because like, anytime you have a character that gets -% damage, turrets are not affected by that. So they are a natural solution to such a character. But I don't actually remember ever doing that with Entrepreneur before. I feel like usually I just buy a bunch of plus damage % to a point where I'm able to kill stuff. And you have enough money that you can just do that. Harvesting's ideal. Take a tree. I will buy a lumberjack shirt, actually. Is there anything I've ever wanted to heavily lecture about but couldn't quite wrap my brain around how to lecture about properly? Oh yeah. Yes. I just do my best. But sometimes I will come back to things because I am not satisfied with how well I covered them the first time I tried to. No bullets? I don't know. Unless I buy some plus piercing damage. The pierce on the turrets is so low. It's kind of expensive early. And it'll come back. I mostly just think there are more important things to buy right now. Wrench damage not scaling off engineering bugs you. Oh, order? Whoops. Did that cost me a tree this wave? I don't think so. It wasn't that bad. It was kind of bad though. Do I actually want this? I can't, right? Because I lose all of my materials when I go into the next wave. Brotato chips. Barbaric. Thanks for the 29 months, Sabran. You got this, turrets. I don't like playing engineering builds very much. And that is certainly a thing I am feeling as I attempt to play this build that is centered around turrets. It's okay though. I have so much money. Surely we'll be okay. Another turret. Perfect. Speed is kept at 3. Maybe I'm okay with that? I think I'm okay with that. I thought I started with a recycling machine. Oh, I start with something kind of like a recycling machine on my passive. Okay. Not actually a recycling machine. I will buy little mostly, dude. I want more X HP. The melee damage doesn't hurt on the wrenches. Barely feel strong when playing engineering build, even the build is fine. Once it gets to red turrets, that's where it starts to feel fine. Feel strong to me. And it does feel strong once I get to red turrets. But it takes a long time to get to red turrets. This feels pretty strong, though. This isn't bad. I do have several nice starter things for an engineering build. Getting shackles early. Getting an incendiary turret early. As our hand in poker, I always enjoyed light seeing, even if it wasn't necessarily a good hand. Pocket aces. I don't know. Pocket aces always made me feel relatively happy to see. You gotta know when to hold them. You gotta know when to fold them. You gotta know when to just walk away. But also with pocket aces, generally you just raise. So that's kind of nice. Like screwdriver and old because it's fun how dense the mines get. Old is a fun one for engineering for sure. You get to hang out by your turrets no matter where they deploy, which is nice because on other characters sometimes your turrets are kind of like spread out very awkwardly. It's hard to be by multiples. You also need to know when to run. That's interesting. I'll take some armor. I have plenty of damage. I'm down for a red turret. Alright, red turret number 1. Do I want this? Kinda. I'll lock the metal detector. I had the opportunity to play DRG Survivors. Yeah, I played a little bit of it. Not a ton. I prefer Brotato to it, and so when I have that sort of energy, you will generally just find me playing Brotato. This game is super sweet. Kind of feel like I could play it almost indefinitely. We are still looking for a pocket factory. Oh, the explosive tower just missed. Pocket factory would be nice. That'd really get this build going. But I mean, this is already fine. We're clearing pretty much every wave. It's only wave 8. Entrepreneur having extra money feels like it is. I have 123 harvesting, actually. Anyway, feels like it is snowballing a little bit already. The extra econ. Pocket factory. Okay. I want a blood donation? I have 15 HP regen? How do I have 1% damage? Oh, it's not you start with minus 50%. It's that they are reduced by 50%. Alright. YOLO? I think it's fine. It does kind of kill you sometimes. Does eye surgery affect burning from turrets? Probably. Seems like I would. Yeah, maybe I should have taken up. My approach to the burning turrets is honestly to kind of just pretend they don't exist, because I'm bad at evaluating how good they are, I guess. It isn't because they are bad. Against a lot of enemies, they will not deal very good damage. Against some enemies, they will just insta-kill them, but I feel like those enemies just die anyway. I don't know. Maybe what I'm saying is that I do, in fact, not think they're that good. Alright, let's take Sharp Bullet this time. And Ricochet. One of the weird things about this character is that -% damage is also halved. Everything? I think I won. Burning turrets feel bad? They do feel bad, I agree. Holy shit. That's a red wrench. We can't buy Weird Ghost, we will die. We can buy explosion damage. -% okay, so primary stats don't apply to turrets, so % damage is on primary. Secondary stats do apply to turrets, and bounces is on secondary. That's why turrets will bounce but not get -% damage. Yeah, I don't know. I took the approach of building random bullshit, but then instead of getting random bullshit, I got extremely highly synergistic bullshit. So this run has not been too bad. The end boss for this run is going to be the Lorax, probably. I had not read the Lorax, so my girlfriend got it for me, and now I have read it. I get it. I get why people reference it when talking about me in my stream. I am the Lorax, I speak for the trees. Comes up sometimes. I get it. I have 258 harvesting. Wow. On a cyber ball? Kinda. I don't think it'll do much, but we'll take it anyway. What are my trees? Well, I keep killing them to make turrets. I got a crown. Yo. I guess I could buy this. It costs 2 more than rolling. Oh wait. Is Twitch chat a tree? Are trees a block card? What shall we do while the turrets win the rest of this run for us? It doesn't synergize with Fire Turret, does it? It could synergize with Strange Book if I get a Strange Book. But I would have to also get more elemental damage such that it was worth it to buy Strange Book somehow. That is the main thing that I was thinking of it being able to synergize with. I'm pretty sure Incendiary Turret scales off engineering, not elemental. Huh. I wonder when the enemies start spawning. Sure. Okay, this will be interesting. I've never fought this enemy in quite this kind of situation. I have -1% speed. And I can't really single target it. Maybe I just die here. Probably I'm okay. I have to be able to dodge these with -1% speed. Ow. Yeah, it does not seem like a problem, actually. Alright. How are the frames doing? I feel like there's a lot of stuff on my screen. How do I fix burn damage, or is it fine as a supplemental damage source? I think it's fine. It's whatever. Huh. This one sure seems kinda over. Did you know I have 21 armor? That's kind of wild to me. Where did I get 21 armor from? Is that 450 harvesting? I mean, could be, maybe. Memorial Day is tomorrow. I'm going to a party. Should be a good time. I might get a stream in, but I might just take the full day off. I'm kind of streaming today because I think I might not stream tomorrow. Trying to take 2 days off a week, but trying not to take more than that. Self-care is praxis. Sounds nice. Not sure it's achieving that much, but I do enjoy a day off on occasion. I'm going to buy so many bowler hats. So many bowler hats. I have -16% crit chance. Maybe that's not the one for me. This one? I'm mostly interested in the HP regen on it. Don't really care about the flat melee damage. We go endless? What do you think? Nah. I guess I'm not playing speedy, so I don't have to move. I could just kind of stand here. How's it going, chat? My boss lets me have 2 days off per week. Sometimes. You want leftover snacks from the party? We'll see. Well, that was this is just a really good game. Like I was saying, Brotato's great. As you can see, I'm ooh, armor when standing still. Okay, we're gonna do it this way. That actually kind of makes it interesting. Let's see if I can get to a point where, oh, I don't have improved tools yet, but I could get it, I guess. So we'll take attack speed. See if I can get to a point where I just stand still. That could be kind of fun. Padding doesn't work when you go to 0 materials at the start of every wave, probably. Ooh, diploma? Holy shit. This entrepreneur went to Harvard. One of these, honestly, I have so many red items that it's not as good as usual, but I still take it. Alright, let's try standing still. Nope. I will not be standing still. Not when there's an elite standing on top of me, anyway. But I want to watch a run before this run dies in endless mode, taking more than 1 minute in between. Taking no more than 1 minute between waves. No, probably not. I don't know. I don't play Spire that fast. I could probably win a watch run pretty fast if I tried to, I guess. But I generally don't try to. Explosion size? Oh my god, I have 2 diplomas. Harvard and Stanford. I am looking for improved tools. Can we even call this run a win if I don't get improved tools? I don't think so. These are not improved tools. Oh shit, that's improved tools. Alright, cool. Now my turrets shoot faster. An anvil. Okay. I guess I can buy riposte, because there's no reason not to. It's 9 and sunny out. Wild. How do you never get ridiculous runs like this? I took a lot of harvesting early. You do have to make some greedy choices at the start to set yourself up to scale this hard. I also got very lucky in terms of which items I was offered and stuff. It was certainly not only my decision to take a bunch of harvesting early, but I think that helped. Plus 5 engineering sounds like my stat. Oh my god, I have 3. Which college is that one from? I don't even, I've run out of colleges that I know the name of. Unlucky. Hey, an explosive turret. Remember Cyberball? I feel like when I bought that, I had low expectations of it. Look at it now. Honestly, 10,000 damage is not actually very much. I wonder if that's because a lot of enemies are dying with no other enemy on the map. I feel like probably that's why its damage is so low. It's only a DeVry degree. Is that bad? Unlucky. Oh, maybe it's Oxford. I know about Oxford. There's also USC. There's Brown and Dartmouth. All these compasses to stand still and not have them lead you anywhere. But they always point true north, even if I'm not going that way. And that's metaphorically powerful. Look at my gardens. Wow. Raya Lucaria University. I'll probably play some Elden Ring in not too long. I am feeling some Elden Ring today. Tonight, I guess. Although I am already done with Raya Lucaria, so. Unlucky. I sure have 2,000 materials. Do we try to make baby with a beard work? I think I'm okay. More harvesting? More harvesting? Does improved tools increase the speed of gardens? It does. Feel like I could take the boss portal here? I think I could have taken the boss portal on like wave 9. Yeah. One of the most high rolls of engineering builds that you've seen. It's kind of the engineering dream, huh? Are there any engineering items that we don't have that you could have? 3 diplomas, improved tools. I don't have Pocket Factory. Wait, do I have Pocket Factory? Do I not have Pocket Factory yet? I do have Pocket Factory. Okay. Okay, never mind. Then I have Pierce, I have Bounce, I have Explosion Size for the red turrets, I have like 60 or 70 engineering or something. I have 109 engineering. Okay. More than I realized. Having said that, I don't think incendiary turrets are that great. I have purchased 7 of them. So with 112 engineering and 7 of these, admittedly I had 5 before this shop phase, they have dealt... That's dealt 20,000, and this has dealt 30,000. Like, yeah, they're just not good. They're just, unfortunately, not very good. I don't have to move anymore, because I have a thing that makes all the things come to me. I buy that? I don't know. I buy this? Sure. A wandering bot? How much has the one explosive turret done? I don't know. Have you ever seen a wave where none of the player character's weapons dealt more than 0 damage? I don't know if I've ever seen that before. You've noticed that I have a lot of harvesting. Interesting. Yeah, it does include the explosive turrets that my wrenches spawn. Let me take a look at it though. I have 3,000 materials to spend. Where is it? Where is it? 258,000. Is that a big number? It's like a decently large number. Easy skip on Excalibur. Get that shit out of my face. A 4th diploma. Yale. Ah! Simply deranged. Simply deranged. We take the magical leaf, even though, you know, I just wanted it. Also taking more harvesting, that's also very key. I'm diploma farming. Wait, can I stand still? No. Is it even a win then? I had to move on wave 20. Probably the most obscene engineering highroll I have ever had. 149 engineering, 2,763 harvesting. That's a lot of harvesting. I think the most harvesting I've ever had is like low 3,000 on Farmer. Draco Bob, hello. Oh, now we play engineer. Well, that's kind of a hard act to follow for engineer, unfortunately. You have 5 diplomas total IRL. How much engineering do you have? Oh, red screwdriver this time. I don't like red screwdriver anywhere near as much as red wrench. I think it's much worse. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I will be right back. Twitch chat. Engineer will create a better startup than entrepreneur. Are you kidding me? You just saw the startup that entrepreneur created. I think there's 0% chance. Hey, Phelan, how are you? Engineer with hammer start. What? Hammer 2 start. I don't know if I've ever had this before. I'm sure it's fine. We just do the same thing, but we start with a hammer 2, I guess. That seems fine. I don't know. We just hit things with it, right? It's a lore-based starting item. Eh? Oh, a turret. It's actually kind of huge to start with. I think we go... I don't know. Do we need that? I think we do. The song does have some irony in it, Sibren. A little bit of irony in this one. I guess the nice thing about Engineer is that the turrets all spawn next to each other. But on Entrepreneur, we got to a point where we had enough turrets that they were effectively all spawning next to each other anyway. I can probably stop moving now. Engineer's pretty strong. The ways that I tend to die on Engineer are I will try to go kill a tree with my wrenches, but my wrenches can't kill the tree because I deal very low damage with them. And then the enemies will hit me and I will die. But as long as I stand by the turrets, I mostly stay alive. And also, I bought the lumberjack shirt so I can one-shot trees, so that probably helps. We're harvesting. We're harvesting. One of these, one of those. Lock that and that. You die in Brotato via hubris. I largely die in ways that confuse me. Like, I think out of all the games I play in Brotato, I am the most regularly surprised that something has caused me to die. I just very often die and think, like, that I was completely fine. What just happened? And I think a decent amount of time what happened is, like, I got a bit unlucky with how enemies spawned and then didn't dodge super well, and then I was dead. Unlucky. Medical turret should be good. How's it going, T-Bone Shorty? You only die in Brotato because of bad RNG. Nice. Or not nice. I don't know. Does explosion damage affect explosion at turrets? It does. It does. At some point, explosion damage is useful. Not for a while, though, because I don't have any explosive turrets yet. Want a propeller hat? I don't think so. Do I want a sharp bullet? Sure. Does Engineer also have minus 50%? Yeah. So the piercing is not as nerfed as it usually would be. Yeah. That's a good sharp bullet already. Alright. I feel like I already won. What if we just stay on tier 1 wrenches as a challenge run? I think I would rather not. But we could. feel like it would be okay. I don't. Wait, probably not. This is probably a bad idea. Their base damage probably isn't high enough. I don't know how good their engineering scaling is, actually. If you could get them up to hitting for like 100 and get some bounce going on. Feels hard. Do I want this? Maybe. In the UK, this bit of the chain is synonymous with F1. I've only followed F1 for like the last 3 years or something, so I only know the F1 TV broadcast on, well, F1 TV, on the internet. The race today was really boring, but I've actually gotten to a point with F1 where I could watch it and be like, oh, the prestige of the whole thing is so compelling, which is wild to me. I don't feel that good about it. A little concerning. Little concerning. I'll take some speed. Also, I was very excited for the first one. It's a disaster. What have I become? Thanks for 35 months, Sergeant Beatstick. And the experience awaits thanks for the 42 months. Range does not affect turrets. Range did once upon a time affect turrets. But that was changed in a later patch. So if you Google whether range affects turrets, I haven't done this for like a year, but last time I did, you could find conflicting information. Nowadays, if you Google whether range affects turrets, it probably tells you to mix it with glue and eat it or something. Google has fallen upon hard times. I tried playing Motorsport Manager. It's a surprisingly in-depth strategy sim where you manage a legally not F1 a legally not F1 team. I like that. No, I have not. I've never played any of those sim games. Like, I bet I could get pretty deep into Football Manager if I tried. But I never have. I found a pocket factory and a chest, so I don't know. That seems good. Caleb D! MTG! Caleb D! MTG! Caleb D! MTG! Caleb D! MTG! It's the Caleb D! MTG! How's it going? How was your stream? Caleb is an excellent Magic the Gathering player and streamer who's been streaming a lot of Vintage Cube lately, and I've been watching some. Vintage Cube is fun. One of my favorite things about Caleb's streams is when I don't know what format he's playing, how long it takes to discern whether he is playing a vintage draft or this is just a deck he's voluntarily constructed and registered for a legacy tournament. Because Caleb's just a wonderful human being. But lately, it's been different for me. Because this Vintage Cube, he's had a couple, well, I've only seen one for sure. but he's had at least one cube where, like, he got disconnected very, very heavily during the draft portion, so then his deck was constructed with, like, 50% auto picks or something. And so this cube, because I know he's cubing, instead it's being like, did he disconnect while drafting this deck or not? Which is another interesting question to ask, and I'm not always sure. Love you, Caleb! Hope you had a good stream. Caleb's good, though. Ow. Caleb's very, very, very good at Magic the Gathering. But also very, very, very good at brewing. Thank you, Caleb. I hope you had a good stream and will have a good evening. Thanks again for the raid. If you don't know, I'm Jorbs. I play largely strategy games of different sorts here on twitch.tv. Right now we're playing Brotato, which is a surprisingly deep strategy game. I was once interviewed for The Atlantic about the strategy component of Brotato. The Atlantic ran an article about it. This is a game where your only input is the left analog stick. But there's so much stuff in like how you position your character, and then there's a shop phase between waves where you have to decide what sort of build you're going for and decide which items are appropriate to pursue for that build and everything. There are 44 different characters, all of which have different strengths and or weaknesses. And so you rarely play runs which feel the same as other runs you've recently played. There are some characters where it's like every run's kind of the same once you work them out, but you'll still sometimes get different unique items which change things a little bit. It's a sweet game. And you get through a run in like 30 minutes, so. The saddest thing in Brotato is the medical turret with Ricochet, because it has nowhere to bounce to. That is pretty sad. Maybe it should be able to bounce to your wandering turret. If it could bounce to your wandering turret, it could bounce back to you again if you had 2 bounces. I feel like this is a reasonable recommendation to make to the dev of the game. Do I want 25% damage against elites? Probably. There will be multiplayer in the DLC. Local co-op. For those of us who have friends who hang out and play video games with us. Which is pretty exciting. Is there a difference between Brotato and Boruto? I don't know what Boruto is. I'm not sure. There's a game called Hamboy, which is like a Brotato clone, which is very funny to me. It's very funny that they both decided to clone like the concept of the game, but also the idea that you were a food item. Like that is somehow integral to to the genre. Yeah, I don't know. We're playing engineer right now, so I get turrets, and usually turrets are spread all around the map. Like if I have 8 turrets, they will be distributed randomly in 8 different places on the map when I spawn into a wave. But as engineer, they all spawn next to each other. So you kind of just chill out by your turrets. Oh my god, I have 3 Tylers. Tyler is one of the turrets. It is a fairly good one. But as such, engineer is not a very dynamic character to play. It's still kind of interesting to see what the turrets can all do. Some of the characters kind of feel like they exist to force someone who is learning the game to actually try going for a build, and then find out what that build can do if you put it together. And engineer feels kind of like that with turrets. Kind of feels like the devs saw that not enough people were building turrets and decided to make a character that would force people to experiment with them. You're just not interested if you can't roleplay a food item. That's important to some people. And I guess Amboy knew about that part of its audience, but maybe not the other parts of its audience. I'm not sure. You play a run of Entrepreneur and you build a bunch of turrets, and then you play Engineer and you build a bunch of turrets, never the same twice. Look. Look here. An observation I would make is that the Entrepreneur run had 2,700 harvesting, and this run has 78 harvesting, and that those numbers are not the same. Purple wrench seems good. Items go gray, blue, purple, red in terms of tiers, and you can upgrade them by getting 2 of the same one. This is for weapons, I guess. You can't upgrade items. These ones are the items. Items you can have as many as you want. Weapons you can have 6. What else is important about Brotato? I don't know. Somebody harvesting was still pretty good? Yeah, I mean, this run's doing fine. It just is not. The notes I wrote for the previous run were probably the most obscene engineering high roll I have ever had. So, you know, we're not expecting this run to do that again. That's okay. It's okay to only win and not also have 3,000 harvesting. They also made Cyborg, who forces people to be sad. Cyborg is one of my worst characters. I think I have like a 40% or something on Cyborg. Although it's over like 7 runs. I feel kind of weird about saying percent for something that has less than 100 samples. I feel like it's misleading. Percent implies that you are averaging over 100 instances. Or more, to me. I don't know if I said the right words there. Saying like 40% when you have 2 out of 5 though just feels misleading. Like, you don't fucking know what it's going to do if you do another 95 of these. You only did it 5 times. Or are you talking about what happens every 100 times if you only did it 5 times? You've got no fucking clue. Stop it! Anyway, this is my personal soapbox. It does mean you are extrapolating. Extrapolation has some downsides at times in statistics. That elite kind of melted. Not take long for that to die. I guess I'm really strong. I'm just like not as strong as the previous run. But I am in fact still really strong. Ooh. Any plans to play Chrono Arc at some point? I don't think I know what Chrono Arc is. What is Chrono Arc? If y'all tell me what it is, maybe it will sound good. At the moment, I have Brotato, I have Slay the Spire, I have Elden Ring, I have Spirit Island. I do also have a Long War 2 and Long War 1 campaign. I think I might have conceptually let the Long War 1 campaign die in my mind. But the Long War 2 campaign, I still didn't let die in my mind. It is still living in my head. I haven't uninstalled XCOM or XCOM 2. But I also haven't launched either of them in a very long time. So, but yeah, at the moment I have Quite a few games is what I'm trying to say. No! Oh, I didn't kill the loot goblin. It's too bad. I'm actually gonna take stone skin here. I don't usually love stone skin, but I think my proportion of armor to max HP made it right in that spot. Chrono Arc is a single-player roguelike that combines elements from deck builders and party-based RPGs, recruit, train, and build a team of unique investigators to restore the twisted world. Is it good? This is always tough because you don't know if I'll like it or not. And my opinion of whether those games are good or not is influenced by having played thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of Slay the Spire. So good, you really like that. Is it like a you play through it once kind of game, or is it a you play lots of runs kind of game? I play Screwdriver Engineer too. I much prefer turrets to mines. Like much prefer. To a point where I was skipping screwdrivers while assembling my wrenches here. I usually only buy screwdrivers if I feel like I'm behind and am being offered them. If I feel desperate and like I just have to take something, you know? Another Tyler. Or... You did 20 to 25 loops. So is that like 50 hours or something? Is Longmore too good? Well, I am biased because I was one of the legend difficulty balance testers for the game. So I think it is. It is definitely the sort of game where you have to be okay with being patient with mechanics which are not immediately explained. So either you can just let them be confusing, or you can like go read Reddit posts to have them explained to you, but you do have to kind of do that. But if you're willing to learn the rules, I think it's a really good strategy game. A very good long-form strategy game too. There aren't many strategy games which are both good and like 100 hours long. But it does a pretty good job of presenting interesting decisions to you. Or like maybe even 200 hours. But like I said, I worked on it, so I'm biased. I'm biased insofar as like my perception is impossible to disentangle from all of the work I did on it to make it feel good to me. And so, even though it might feel bad to other people, I know that I put in hundreds or maybe 1,000 hours of work to make it feel good to someone who wanted the thing I want from a game. And I'm just always going to see that and always know that if you want the thing I wanted, it's really good. But yeah, I don't know if you wanted the thing that I wanted. I played about 45 minutes of Terra Invicta, which felt like the right amount of time. How many balance testers were there? You could check the credits. There were 2 main legend difficulty balance testers. But overall, the team was, I think, more like 8 people who did balance testing and QA work. Something like that. It is of the final wave. It's the final countdown. They don't play the final countdown anymore. Do you think they finished counting down, maybe? Maybe that's why. I haven't heard that song since, like, Arrested Development, probably? Maybe Arrested Development killed it. What are my notes for engineer? Just kinda made cards and one. Oh, I guess lumberjack shirt. Stop the wrenches from killing me. We are still just barely ahead of past Jorbs, going into the second half of this rotation. Fuck you, past Jorbs! Fucking guy. Like to have things with 79 months, appreciate it! Who is winning a deep dip, uninformed opinions only? I thought Bren was winning, but I don't. Let's see. I remember that Bren was up high, and I remember that somebody else was kind of comparably high, and I remember that Wirchel was not as high. That's what I remember. That opinion is too correct. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Bren, Lars, Alcon, or Hazard. Ah, okay. Oh my gosh. So much food. ManyJorbs is one of the Brotato players of all time. He choked so hard at the end, though. I mean, look at this. Look at all these losses. Loss. What is that, like 4 in a row? There's no way he can defeat me. I am older and wiser. I have learned from his mistakes. My girlfriend just brought me so much food. There's an entire plate of food, and then there's also other stuff. Alcon's taking an entirely different route? What? You can do that? I thought it was pretty much you just go up. Wait, is a different route that he's taking falling to the bottom? Because that would be like a pretty sick burn. And kind of situationally funny. When he falls, do people go like, oh, is this your new route? Yo. Am I toxic? On floor 13, it's designed with several likely intentional cuts possible. I see. Can't make Caitlin Clark's name into a potato. What about Caitlin Start. It's a bit of a stretch. I have had decent success with Plank on some characters. I'm not sure I've tried it on Cyborg. Here we go! Lumberjack has a lot of words. Basically what it amounts to is the map's bigger and there are more enemies, but they don't give you as much money, but there are lots of trees. Also, I guess the enemies are faster and you deal less damage. That seems kind of bad. We start with Wand. Pass? That is not a good item to start with here. Alright. I guess it's actually doing fine. I don't know. Wands wreck trees. Well, I start with an item that says trees die in one hit, so that may be contributing. I think luck's probably pretty good here. I'm going to grab a lightning shiv because it's precise. Filthy. Filthy. Holy shit. So you get weapons of the tags that you have in shops. And Wand has elemental tag. And Thief Dagger is, in my opinion, the best possible weapon to have on Explorer. Because Explorer has more enemies, right? But they drop fewer materials. But Thief Dagger gives you materials for killing enemies, whether they drop materials or not. So Thief Dagger makes a lot of money on this character. And also it's just like a perfectly fine weapon by itself. Definitely taking a bag. Would be kind of cool to, I don't know, find another weapon. There you go. That was a very, very, very bad shot phase. Hopefully I don't die this wave. I don't think I will. But I'm sure not killing anything. Well. More speed's okay. Should have just taken range, maybe. I'll take some attack speed. First tick of attack speed always improves your attack speed. That sounds like such... The game runs on frames, and weapons have certain number of frames that it takes for them to attack, but the decimals get truncated. So if it takes like 5 frames for it to attack and you get 5% attack speed, now it takes 4 frames to attack. So for faster weapons, getting the first attack speed is pretty nice. I'm not really sure that Thief Daggers are a good example of a weapon where that matters. Once went to a potato-themed restaurant / comedy club. Cool. I gotta say that theming a restaurant around a food item doesn't sound that adventurous. I believe I have also been to several restaurants that were potato themed. McDonald's comes to mind. However, I hope you had a good time. We gentle alien. We gentle alien. We want to get our damage percent up because it is currently minus 35. The best potato that I ever had was a fancy tater tot. Tater tots are good. They are the best delivery potato. Something that became quite important to me during the pandemic. They just hold heat very well, and I don't know, they just like, they don't get worse as quickly from delivery as something like French fries. Or like mashed potato, you just can't even. Oh my god. Deliver mashed potato? No, that's just a write-off. Can't do that at all. Take 8% more damage. Like that one and that one. At this point, I think I should conceptually be like... I should be doing okay right now. I should also be scaling pretty well. I don't know, it feels like I'm not. We'll see. If I just like buy items at this point, I should win. That's what I'm trying to say. The thing that I am doing conceptually gets strong enough to win the run without needing to change. You have still never used one of the food delivery apps, not who you are as a person. Hey, I'm really... It's good that you know that about yourself, in my opinion. Good to know who you are, you know? I just got 3 coffees in like a minute. That cannot be healthy. The best potato I ever had? Just a raw potato. Don't need anything fancy. Just hook me up with that good stuff straight from the earth. The enemies having plus 10% speed is very noticeable to me right now. Yeah, I think if things aren't, like, dying on their own, we probably don't go out of our way to try to make sure they die. We just keep running away from them. It's fine. We can run away for a long time. This one's pretty good. I like range. I like minus enemy speed. Helps with the problem I was just identifying. Ever make a way to cook potatoes tier list? Well, that's just what I am saying. Why cook them? No, I haven't. I think mashed potatoes do really well. They're very simple, and also very good. But I mean, there are other contenders, to be sure. Definitely there are other contenders. Woo! Shit's wild. Pickup range. Sure. A turret? Why not? We'll just kind of have a friend now. Just kind of shooting things. Give it -2 engineering? Well, now I don't want to. Is this good? It's worse than usual because of, no, I don't think it's good. It's good to stay sensitive about that stuff, I4, probably. I don't know. Not a Brit myself, but I am familiar with some things about your culture. Actually, I tried watching some cricket this morning as well. The game was atrocious. Cricket doesn't lend itself well to single elimination types of tournaments because if cricket is about who wins, it is often very boring to watch. It might also be boring to watch the rest of the time. I'm willing to consider the idea. We got some thief daggers going now. More damage percent, more luck. This is fine. NBA playoffs have been fun. I don't understand basketball. I don't understand why they don't just run at the hoop and then put the ball in it, because they're tall enough to reach it with their hands. Like, I just don't strategically understand what's going on with that. Like, I don't understand what the rules are, I guess. People are allowed to stand in the way, maybe, but can't you just go around them? I don't know. I don't know. They're not allowed to tackle you. They can just stand there, right? There are very big people in the way. Sounds rough. That would make it harder, admittedly. Hunting trophy gives me even more money when I kill things. Fairy gives me 18 HP regen by itself. So we'll take one of those. This is an elite wave. This is the sort of thing that can kill you in this game. Who is it? Alright, we are not going to be killing that. We will be running away from it for the entire wave. Oh, but there's also the chasers. And there are a lot of them. Oh, this is interesting. They have enemies that get faster and faster and faster as the wave goes on. Unless they die. So, like, even if I try to run away from them, eventually they will catch me. And they'll be going very fast when they catch me. And they take a little while to kill. I think I'm okay. It's a little scary. Like, I don't want to be too good at running away from them, because I don't want them to be going too fast when they reach me. Alright, ended up not being a problem. I have 500 materials, not bad. 20 range seems good-ish. 12% damage seems relevant. Only damage and crit chance is the stat profile I am looking for. That one's okay, this one's okay. Is there a place in the game that teaches you how each enemy works? There's a wiki that's pretty good. I've actually just read the code of the game. It is a game that is fairly easy to decompile. It is written in Godot. So I've like read the actual code that describes enemies. Money looks like it's doing pretty well this wave. Anytime we're making more than 500 a wave, we're pretty happy. Sure. Sure. I am happy, Mr. Pinchy Claw. It's a really good game. Sports would be more exciting with more than one ball. There must be sports with more than one ball. Ooh. That's red. Fun. Oh yeah, billiards. Yeah, it's not very exciting actually. It's pretty boring. Pinball. Pinball can be exciting. I've never watched like professional pinball. I imagine it doesn't do super well on screens. Golf, because there are multiple people with a ball each. Also not a very exhilarating sport. Yeah, I think maybe the contest over the singular ball is part of the leverage that creates excitement. I think would be fine with blood donation. I'm not going to take it though. But I think we would be okay. Seems like an unnecessary risk at this moment. Especially with an elite fight. Some of the elites are pretty nasty. We don't know which one this is. This one's not too bad. There's a wave 14 elite too. This wave's gonna get messed up at the end. Because there are just a lot of these things that shoot at me. Alright, I gotta remember to breathe. Sometimes I stop breathing for like 30 seconds while playing this game. Alright, not really that bad. Very manageable. as the dots slowly finally leave the screen. Yep. Does pool count as a sport with multiple balls? I think so. Snooker, pool, etc. Pocket Factory is kind of fun on this character, although I only have 1 engineering, so the turrets that I spawn, though they will be many, will not deal much damage. 26 regen seems pretty good. Oh yeah. So there was a patch, the last major patch, I think added some new characters, but the more noticeable thing to me that it did was it added new elite fights, and some of them feel pretty hard compared to the previous elite fights. However, it also added some very, very, very strong items, so I think overall it did make the game quite a lot easier. One of the items it added gives you 1 regen for every tier 1 item, every unique tier 1 item that you've purchased, I guess. Every tier 1 item that you have at least 1 of gives you 1 HP regen. And that item just like by itself wins runs. That's so much HP regen. So, it is what it is. I'll take a baby elephant too. Why not? We're at 75% crit chance. I guess we want more crits. Engineering increases the power of your structures. Thank you, game. I think baseball would be better with multiple balls. They do use multiple balls. It would be very boring if, after someone hit a home run, they had to go find the ball again. It could take a while. Sometimes it, like, goes in water. I've actually been on a baseball analysis video kick on YouTube. I've been watching some videos of particularly unique players and things like this. It's fun. I appreciate people who like analyzing baseball. They're usually quite intelligent, but also they have chosen to use their talents to analyze baseball, which requires some amount of sense of humor and lack of self-esteem. Sorry, I didn't know this was going to be quite so critical. I said what I said, though. Yes, Nate Silver has proven that you do not necessarily want a baseball nerd to go do something else. Ooh, can I kill this? Maybe? What does it also have chasers? I've gotten 2 elite waves with a tremendous number of chasers and an elite that charges at you. This is actually messed up. Okay, I'm back to full health. But like, holy shit. So when you kill the elite, it drops a thing that heals you for 100, and I was 100% dead unless I killed that elite. Wow. Okay, that wave, yep. Okay. All right. Whew. Brotato gets me going sometimes. This game is wild. Can I buy a weird ghost? I can, right? Could I see with the mod overlay in the way? The mod overlay was affecting my vision there. It's true. It's okay though. I turned off my targeting computer. It was still okay. Does it bother anyone else that Luke turns his targeting computer off and then the photon torpedoes take a 90 fucking degree turn into the shaft? I always assumed that like the shaft had some sort of current that was pulling them in or something. I don't know. I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh my god. Every run has an Excalibur on it. -3 armor for every weapon you have. That seems bad. Okay. Let's not buy that one. Don't worry about it, it's magic. I don't spend a lot of time worrying about it, to be honest. Not a major way that I spend my time. I've had a magic leaf going for a while. Gives me max HP, HP regen, and lifesteal at the end of every wave. So my sustain is very high now. I think I can kind of just walk into the middle of enemies and not take damage, probably. Kind of seems like it, huh? Maybe I take a small amount of damage. Cool. Eventually, I did reach a point where my money took off. Nothing really matters anymore. But I will still click on the ones I think are best anyway. Final wave. 400 HP healed from tentacles. Tentacle does pretty good when you have 100% per chance. And extra enemies on the map. It's kind of wild how almost every time I fight Smiley, I nearly die. Smiley's the elite that almost killed me. Oof. $21. Huh. Wand to lightning, shiv to thief dagger in first shop phase. Thief daggers. Very nearly dead to Smiley plus chasers. You've been stuck on streamer for a week. Any tips? I'm playing streamer for a little bit. The first way I beat streamer was with SMGs. Okay, I went like buy one SMG at the end of wave 1, buy another one at the end of wave 2, stand still, make a bunch of money, and you just kind of get to a point where you have 600 materials all the time and stand still as much as you can every wave. And your econ wins for you at that point. Since then, I have had a lot of success building structures. I think it's kind of just a hard character to play. You have to find your moments to stand still to make materials, but it's kind of hard to do that sometimes. Trying to decide if my Explorer run riled me up enough that I'd like to call that enough Brotato for tonight. I have a nice 0-4 streak from past Jorbs to look forward to. I can maybe put together a bit of a lead during that. But it is on a hard characters. Cyborg, Glutton, Jack, and Lich. Yeah. I mean, I should win on Lich, but Cyborg, Glutton, and Jack are all characters that I have lost on before and will lose on again. Just do the run you did on Entrepreneur on Streamer. Kinda.